Hi, this is the Billy Burns cooking show. I will be replacing Rachel Ray for this week. And this week we are going to be doing Italy as our country. Disclaimer.
As a disclaimer, I am an appreciator of these countries and the food, and I definitely don't know everything, but I want to showcase these countries and help gain awareness of other foods, and that we are a lot more alike than we think.
Hi, today we are going to make 3 dishes. I have the times listed on my right, and the 3 dishes are going to be bruschetta, pasta with marinara sauce, and then we are going to make pizza at the end. Bruschetta is an antipasto or starter dish from Italy consisting of tomatoes and garlic. It originated in Italy during the 15th century. However, though, the dish can be traced back to ancient Rome. Today, for bruschetta, you will need tomatoes, garlic, basil, salt, and olive oil. You will also need pepper. To start off, we are going to dice up the tomatoes. Once we have diced up the tomatoes, we are going to transfer the tomatoes into a bowl. And then after we peel the garlic, we are going to mince this up really small as well and throw it into the bowl. Now onto the basil. The first thing we want to do is pick all the leaves off of the stems. Once we have the leaves separated, we now want to slice this up really small as well. Then we will combine the basil in with the tomatoes and garlic. Once we have that in the bowl, we will add salt, pepper, and olive oil, and then mix all of that up. Once we have it mixed up well, we can serve it over sliced baguette, or really any type of bread, and if you don't want it on bread, you can really put it on anything. While we do think of pasta as a culturally Italian food, it is likely a descendant of ancient Asian noodles. A common belief about pasta is that it was brought to Italy from China by Marco Polo during the 13th century. Over time, because of pasta's affordability, shelf life, and versatility, it became firmly rooted in Italian culture. The warm Mediterranean climate of Italy is suited to growing fresh vegetables and herbs, which meant that Italians could get creative with the delicious variety of pasta sauces. Tomato-based sauces emerged as a favorite complement to pasta. Today, for pasta, all you will need is pasta, marinara sauce, and water. To start off, you want to fill up your pot with water, and then you want to get your water to a boil. I add salt. Once you have your water boiling, you want to add your pasta, and then cook that for around 7 minutes until it's tender or al dente, depending on how you like it. You also want to throw your sauce into a pot, so that will heat up as well. After your pasta is cooked, you will want to strain it with a strainer. And then you just want to put your pasta into a bowl, add some of your heated up sauce, and that's it. Pizza became what it is now in the late 18th century in Naples. It was sold not in shops but by street vendors carrying huge boxes under their arms. During this time, it was not really considered as great as it is considered today. This didn't change until the Italian unification and King Umberto I and Queen Margherita went to Naples in 1889. The pizza in Italy is not exactly like the pizza we have in New York. It is much smaller size pies. For the pizza, we're going to start with the dough, which you'll need flour, instant yeast, sugar, salt, water, and olive oil. To start off, we're going to add the 1 cup of flour to our bowl, 1 packet of yeast, 3/4 teaspoon salt, and 1.5 teaspoons of sugar. And then once we have that, we're just going to want to stir it up. Then we're going to want to add 2 tablespoons of olive oil. Then we're going to want to add 3/4 of a cup of water at around 100 to 110 degrees. To get it to this temperature, we just want to get the hottest water we can out of our sink, and that's roughly around that temperature so it doesn't activate the yeast. And then we're just going to want to stir this up. And as we're stirring this up, we want to just continually add flour until it starts to thicken and not be so sticky as well. Once it really starts to get that good texture, you may want to switch over to your hands so it's easier to mix. And then after you do that, you want to put a little bit of olive oil into a bowl. You want to wipe that around the bowl, and then you want to put the dough in the bowl and let that sit and rest for around 30 minutes. Once you let the dough sit for 30 minutes, you're then going to want to transfer it to another cutting board. And then you're going to want to roll that around with some flour on your hands and the board just for a little bit more. And then after you get it into a ball, you're then going to want to cover that with a towel and let it sit for another 30 minutes. After those 30 minutes are up, now you will want to roll the dough. To do this, you can use a rolling pin. I didn't have one, so I really just used my hands. Once you get it into some type of shape, it doesn't really need to be a circle or anything, then you'll want to transfer it over to a pan. Then you'll actually want to bake your bread at around 450 degrees for 5 to 10 minutes alone. After this, then you can take your pizza dough out of the oven, add your sauce and cheese, and then you want to throw it back in the oven for around 15 minutes. After, you want to just take out your pizza, then you want to slice it up and serve it. So now that we're done cooking, we finally get to eat. So enjoy. Before we go, I want to give you the clue for next week's session. So the clue for today will be, drumroll please, they were here before America was discovered.